Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's Wake and Stretch. Today, on my part of the world, where I am, it is Monday, April 13th. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful celebration for your weekend. We were fortunate enough to have a Zoom call with the fam, and I gotta tell you, it was probably one of the best Easters. We laughed so hard; it was awesome. I mean, of course, it's always better to be in the physical presence, but from living abroad for so long, this is, I think, our 9th year living abroad. That's what holidays have become for us with our families, for my husband and I. So it's either a FaceTime call or a Skype call or a Google chat, or now it's Zoom. So it was fun, and I'm so glad that we were able to do that. It made the day really special. So I hope there was something special for you as well. I did peruse through the old gram, and I saw that there are quite a few people who have done the same thing, that they Zoomed with their families. So aren't we blessed that we have that opportunity? Because back in the day, there was none of that. You had a regular old phone call. Anyway, I guess I'm showing a little bit of my age at this point, but that's besides the point. So this morning, as far as the practice goes, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling today. So my first inclination, and this is what I'm going to follow because that's what my intuition is telling me, is to do an inversion-free practice because I don't really feel like going upside down. Yesterday I started to get a little bit of neck pain, which caused a good old headache. I'm sure we all know how that goes. And yes, a yogic tradition says to be upside down to help headaches, but in this case, that just doesn't feel right for me today. I don't know if you've ever experienced the same thing. Maybe you have. So I'm going to do a little bit of movement without going upside down. So I'm not going to do any standing forward folds. I'm not going to move into down dog. I'm going to try to keep my head either level or above the heart. This is, I do have some videos that I've done already for inversion free, and being stalked by Zeus. And let me show you, he's outside. Wait, there he goes. There goes his tail. Oh well, I missed him. Perhaps he'll come and join us a little later. So anyway, as I was saying, planning on doing a little bit of inversion free this morning. So I'm going to grab my towel so that I can make sure that in my child's pose, I'm not in an inversion. If you want to practice with me, you are welcome to do so. I'm not going to do as deep of an instruction as I normally would because I am practicing as well. Teaching and practicing are two different things. So, just get myself set up here. So if you have a towel, a bolster, pillows, whatever you might need, whatever you might have around the house, go ahead and grab it. I'm come into that child's pose that I spoke about, and I'm going to shove the towel under my belly so that it stays a little bit more lifted. I'm going to stack my hands and rest my forehead there. I'm just going to stay here for a few breaths and let my body get used to the posture. See what I can let go of. And while I'm here, I'm also going to try to check in and see how I feel. Not only physically, but where's my energy? Where are my emotions at? What is it that I need today? Staying here for just a few more breaths. And very gently coming out of the child's pose onto hands and knees. So from here, I'm just going to move through some cow and cat, but in my cat, because I don't want my head to go below the heart, I'm going to keep my head as parallel to the ground as I can. So taking a nice inhale, and then exhaling, avoiding a deep drop in the head. Inhale, lifting the heart, and exhaling, curling. Moving through a few more times. I'm coming to neutral. I'm going to do a little bit of side bending here, crunching the right side as I exhale. One more time each side. And then coming back to center. I'm going to crawl forward, have a seat, let the legs extend out in front. I'm giving a good shake with the legs just to help them warm them up a little bit. And I'm actually going to use the towel today as a strap, as a yoga strap. So I'm taking it so it's a little bit longer, wrap it around the bottoms of the feet. I'm using this against the balls of my feet to pull them back, and I'm sitting up tall against it. This gets the hamstrings behind the knees, the calves, without affecting the back. So I'm not really looking for a stretch through the back today, more so through the legs. Well, not right at the moment. I may get some back stretch a little later. And as I feel I want more intensity, I'll walk my hands a little bit closer to the feet down the towel. And I am actively sticking my pelvis out behind me, so sticking the tail out in the back. Fix my towel now because I know that later I'm going to want it as the bolster again. Because this one pose, it's funny, so sometimes I get a pose stuck in my head and I just really want to do that pose. I'm going to save it for later. So that's going to stay right there for now. I'm going to take a gentle twist. So it might not look gentle, but I'm not going to go into it so deeply. So the right heel is going to come in towards the sit bone. Left hand behind, sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, you give a little twist to the right, hugging the leg in. Now the left leg does have a little energy in it here. It's not just flopping out to the side. My heel is down and the toes are up. Myself back to center, taking a little Janu Shirshasana. I like to say my Sanskrit just because it's fun. Bottom of the foot to the inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall, giving a tiny little twist, and then taking an easy fold forward. Again, I'm not trying to go too deep here, just trying to open up the body a little bit at a time. I'm going to gently come up and do all of that on the second side. So left heel comes in, left hand behind, inhaling the right arm up, and then exhaling, giving a gentle twist to the left. Gently coming back to center, opening up the knee, coming into that Janu Shirshasana, sitting up nice and tall, giving a little twist, and then exhaling and folding. And coming up to vertical. Bring both feet together, coming into bound angle pose. I'm just gonna actually rock a little bit here just to get the hips, I don't know, more open. I feel like rocking a little bit. All right, so from here, grabbing onto the arches of the feet, elbows come out. And again, I'm gonna keep a nice straight spine here. Seems to be my jam these days. I'm going to give my head a little bit of gentle rotation here too, because I can feel my shoulders and my neck starting to grip, and I'm starting to get that pain in my head. I do not want another headache today because those are the worst. I'm just trying to release some of that out. Coming up through vertical and gently closing the legs. Give a little rock from side to side. So from here, I'm going to get a little bit of a quad stretch. I'm pretty sure that I have done this before in our wake and stretch mornings, but this actually feels pretty good through the front of the body. Even if you're equal weight on both legs, you could feel an opening through those hip flexors and the belly if you're tight. And then for a little bit more intensity, you can let one knee lower more than the other. Every time I do this stretch, it's similar but different, right? I keep bringing up the subtleties. Every day the subtleties are going to be a little bit different depending on what you did the day before, how you slept, how you woke up, what you did before you practiced. All those little things do add up in the body. So I'm going to come up into a squat balance. So bringing the inner edges of the legs together, inner thighs, ankles, toes, whatever comes together for you. And just coming into a balance. This helps to wake up the feet, gets the arches working, the toes working. Get your core working. So make sure that you're not leaning forward. Try to stack the spine right over the hips. Because a lot of these balance poses is all about the physics. How are you stacking the bones? And from here, I'm going to power through my legs to come to a standing position. Maybe. See, when you change the focus of your eyes, it changes the balance. And I took a little sneak peek at the camera, which I probably should not have done. And now where's my balance? All right, I'm going to power through the legs and stand up. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. I didn't angle my mat all that well this morning. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to take a few breaths here. Pardon my arms going out of the frame. Inhaling as I come up. And exhaling, coming down. I'm giving a little bit of an arch in the spine here just to get more openness through the front of the body. And I'm trying to lengthen instead of crunch the lower back. So I'm really trying to extend my ribs out of the waist. One more just like that. Good. So from here, I'm going to step back with my left foot and find a warrior two. Making sure that the knee is, the front knee is in line with the toes, the back leg is in a comfortable angle, and the arms extend out. You know what, that doesn't feel good on my shoulders. I think I'm going to leave my hands on my waist today. And from here, we're going to move into triangle pose. From here, coming up through vertical, I'm just going to let the arms relax, bending the knee. I'm going to take a nice big step to the top of the mat. Moving on to the other side. Right foot steps back, finding the warrior two. And I'm just going to use the arms for a moment to make sure that my shoulders are stacked over. Somehow extending the arms helps to feel where the shoulders are aligned. And then from there, the hands are going to come to the waist today. Just nice, gentle breath here. Trying to release any tension from the jaw, the neck, the face. And from here, I take triangle pose. Inhaling, coming all the way up. And exhaling, stepping up to the top of the mat. Cool. So from here, I'm going to work through my feet. This is an old habit. But it does feel good to stretch out the tops of the feet. If it's not something that you're familiar with doing, I got lots of snaps and crackles and pops in the morning. This, of course, is a habit that I developed through dance because, I mean, what dancer doesn't want a beautiful pointed foot? But as it relates to yoga and everyday life, giving a nice stretch, pushing through the ball of the foot, and then we're not trying to crunch the toes, but instead lengthen them. When you press through the toes and you activate the bottom of the foot, you start to strengthen it. Right, so I'll show you from the side view. I'm using my toes to come up. Now there's no weight there. Then from there, I'm going to go over the tip of my toe and give a nice stretch to the front of the foot, at the top of the foot. So the metatarsals get a nice opening. And then reversing that. Gently going over the tip of the toe, spreading the toes, pressing through the ball of the feet, and then letting the heel come down. And do the other side as well. Everybody's feet are different. Everybody will feel this in a slightly different way. I'm going to do that right foot one more time because I think it needs a little more love. All right, so now that my feet feel a little bit more open, grounded, awake, I'm going to move into one of my favorites, tree pose. So weight comes into the right foot, left heel releases, outwardly rotate, and find your connection. I'm going to do one more shape in this balance. We're releasing the top foot, crossing it over the ankle, and I'm keeping this floating foot active. I'm going to move into a chair pose, maybe. Maybe I am. Yeah, there it is. But it's a cross-legged chair. Oh, yeah. And gently releasing. I'm moving to the other side. Finding the tree pose. Wow, I look really, really strange. I'm going to change the camera a little bit. Sorry, guys. Getting to tree pose in a moment. Okay. I don't think I did anything to improve it, but that's all right. Yep, finding tree pose. Finding the breath. Feeling the connection of the top foot to the standing leg. Here, coming into that cross-legged chair. Maybe. There it is. Gently coming out. Shaking out the legs. I'm going to make my way into a half sun salutation, but of course not folding forward. So how do you do that? When you take your forward fold, you only come to about there. I'm going to come all the way down to the mat, find my way to plank, and I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. Lowering all the way down onto the mat. From here, moving into a Sphinx pose. Arms are at 90 degrees. Open the legs so that the lower back has less pinching. Nice long neck. Relaxed jaw, relaxed shoulders. Making sure they're not gripping or holding on. And from here, I'm going to lay down and take what's called crocodile pose. So stacking the hands, you can keep them flat, or you can make two fists and stack them. And then rest your forehead down onto the hands. If your lower back feels tight, you can give a little rock with the head from side to side. And from here, I'm going to take a little bit of a quad stretch, which will relate into a back bend. So the right leg will pop up. I'm going to reach back and gently pull it in. If this is too intense for you, you can always just lay back down so that your head is on the mat. Gently releasing and moving to the other side. Release. And I make my way back into my child's pose. Using my trusted towel, bring it underneath my belly, and stacking my hands. Gently coming up from here. Excuse me. So the one pose that I mentioned before that I've been thinking about is hero pose. That's the name of it in vinyasa, but if you're practicing yin yoga, it's called saddle pose. And in yin, you would use loads of pillows and blankets and stuff like that. I don't have those with me at the moment, but I also know that I need a little support underneath my tail. So I'm going to bring my towel underneath my sit bones, so I have a little bit more height. Now, generally speaking, the hips go between the heels. Not everyone's legs can come into this position, and if you can't, it's really okay. You can stack your hips as high as you need to so that it feels comfortable for you. Now, to move into the full saddle, the pelvis tucks underneath so that you get the most length in the front of the body. Remember that quad stretch we just did? This is part of it. And then walking yourself back. Now, I'm not going into a full reclined because honestly, I can't. My body doesn't like it. It hurts my lower back. But this right now feels pretty good. I do feel a little bit in my lower back. So I'm actually going to fold this towel a little differently. Maybe I can get some more height out of it. Let's see how tall I can make this magical towel. Place that underneath my sit bones, and let's try again. Because you really don't want to have any lower back pain when you move into this. So I'm looking for more sensation in the quads, and there it is. A little bit more height will do ya. I'm going to keep my chest moving up and out. Don't mind the dogs. This is how they sort things out. They're outside. There's always a power struggle among these three dogs. I don't know. Stay here for a few more breaths. So from here, gently walking myself up. I'm going to readjust my pelvis. I'm going to stay on the towel. Just sit here for a few moments. Let my back kind of re-assimilate. Let it come back to neutral. So from here, move the towel back out of the way. Now I'm actually sitting on my heels and give it a little tiny twist. Twists are always good to do after a forward fold or a deep back bend, as it neutralizes the spine. It brings you back to normal. So from here, the other pose that I've been thinking about, I have to redo my towel, is in my Shavasana. I'm going to roll this towel up so that it can support my spine. So I'm going to roll it into a cylinder and place this down. From here, laying down so that I make sure the back of my head is supported by the end of the towel. Because as I said, I'm not looking for my head to drop back. I want it to be supported. So that might mean that I have to move down on the towel a little bit. There we go. And the legs can go wherever they need to. So doing more of a constructive rest where the knees fall together. You can move into a butterfly position, bound angle pose, or just simply extend them out. Now, I'm doing a Shavasana. That's my purpose right now, so I'm going to let my legs go long. I'm going to stay here for about 10 to 20 breaths. However long it takes me to do. But very gently start to wake up the body, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. And give a nice long stretch through. If you can balance on your towel or pillow, cool. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. We're going to gently roll onto one side and remove the towel out. And before coming up, I'm going to just lay flat for a few moments. Again, letting the spine do what it needs to come back to neutral, natural neutral. And now gently hugging the knees into the chest. Taking a little rock from side to side. Rolling onto the right side, using the right arm as a pillow for your head. Gently coming up. Finding a comfortable seated up position. Maybe sitting on the towel, maybe not. And taking a few moments before getting up and going out and doing whatever else it is that needs to be done. Just sitting and enjoying the moment. Enjoying your breath. Enjoying the fact that you showed up for yourself. And since we did a little bit of a check-in on the energy, feelings, the emotions, and how you feel today. Take another one, see if you feel any different. And it's okay if you don't. It's also okay if you do. I am forever grateful that you're showing up, that you're taking care of yourself, and that we're connecting. Have a beautiful Monday wherever you are. Namaste. And I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye.